Why, hello there, and thanks for stopping by. Today, we're going to be learning about the basics of anatomy proportions. Let's break it down. First, I have the male model. I've imported this model from the free app called Magic Poser. He's stuck in the ground. What are you doing? Magic Poser is a free app where you can pose your models for your illustrations. So for today, we're going to be doing the basics of male and female anatomy. So to get started, I've imported a PNG of the male model. Let's consider the proportions. So this is the full length of the model. About halfway between the head and the toes is where the legs meet the torso. Halfway between where the ankles and the legs meet the torso are the knees. When the arms are relaxed, the hands meet up halfway at the thigh. So that's the lower half of the proportions. Now let's discuss the top half. Halfway in the upper half of the body is the bottom of the shoulder line. So the shoulders begin here and they end here. Exactly halfway between the bottom of the shoulders and the top of the head is where the head ends, otherwise called the chin. And halfway between the chin and the bottom of the shoulders is the top of the shoulders. Where do the elbows go? Well, around right here and right here. Right in between the lower part of the shoulders and the exact midway point of the body. Let's make this a little easier. Let's paint the center line red. Let's paint the quarter proportions blue. Now we're going to do this on our own. We're going to take this, we're going to adjust the opacity downwards, we're going to move the model to the side, and we are going to elongate the chart. Oops. Alright, cool. Now let's draw these basic proportions on our own. So where are we going to start? Well, we have the full length of the body. This is where the top of the head is, this is where the bottom of the feet are. Halfway here is where the legs meet the torso, and up here is where the head is. We're gonna do nice blocky shapes to make it nice and easy. Alright, so this is a quarter here, this is a quarter here, this is a quarter here, this is a quarter here. So on the first quarter is where the bottom of the shoulders are. Cool. Now our character, of course, has two legs, so we just go from the midpoint here all the way to the bottom. Keeping it nice and simple. Alright, so the top of the shoulders are in between where the head is and the bottom of the shoulders are. So around right here and here. So we have a shape that kinda looks like that. We just kinda added mass here. We could just add ellipses for the shoulders. Alright, so we don't want the arms to drop down, but where does it end? Well, at the midpoint here are where the knees are, so let's make the top part of the legs kinda thicker. So what I like to do is I like to go out like that and then go out like that. Bop, bop, and bop, bop. Gotta add those muscles. Alright, so at the halfway point of the thigh is where the arms end. So around right here. So we're just gonna drop them down right here and right here. Now, here's the tricky part. So we have the head, we have the shoulders, but what people think about the least is how to draw the neck. So it turns out the neck isn't just up and down like that, you know, unless you want it to look like a weird alien or something. So what you have is like a shape that's like a torso, and then you have the head, right? But what you want to do is you want to add a triangle shape and then connect it to the triangle shape. Pretty cool, huh? We got a flat triangle shape, and then we're going to connect it to the neck. And then there we go. We got our man. Oh yeah, I forgot, the elbows. The way I like to draw limbs is kind of just straightforward, like a elongated triangle, but the way I split it up is if I add mass like this, bop, 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 and then another bit of mass like this and like this, then we have something that looks like muscle mass. Pretty cool, huh? So the elbows are right here and right here, so we need to visually separate them. So what we want to do is we have muscles going from here to here. Building those muscles. Here's the funny thing. In the Modeler app, this character his name is Arnold. Gotta build the muscles. And then we have another shape, another diamond-like shape like this and like this. Starting from this middle point muscles. Muscles. Alright, so that's where the hands end. Usually when I'm modeling a figure, what I usually do is I only draw the hands as like diamond shapes. Oh yeah, look at that, look at that. If I do like a triangle from here to here, looks like a fist. Yeah, look at that. And there we go, we got our strong boy. And then for the feet right here, so we had the quarter point right here, and then yeah, people usually have feet, you know, I think that's something people have sometimes. I just do like a two triangle shapes. Super easy. It's super easy. If you're starting out learning anatomy, I really suggest learning just doing silhouettes so that way you can get the proportions correct. So yeah, we have some pretty exaggerated hero proportions. I dig it. I dig it. Now let's talk about female models. So first and foremost, the midway point where the legs meet the torso. Now we have the feet and the ankles, right? They're just a little above the bottom line, so just eyeball it. Then we have the knees, which are exactly the midpoint between the top of the legs and the top of the ankles. Let's see. Yep, the bottom of the shoulders are exactly the midway between the bottom of the torso and the top of the head. Huh, that's interesting. Turns out halfway between the top of the head and the bottom of the shoulders is exactly where the head is. But notice that the shoulders are a lot lower this time. They're not halfway, like the male model. Now here's a feature that women have that men don't, and that is a waist. To make it nice and easy, the elbow line and the waistline are exactly the same. Alright, now let's work out the model ourselves. We're going to do the same thing as we did before. We're going to color the midpoint red, and then we're going to color the quarter lines blue. Okie dokes, let's turn that opacity down. Now we're going to build the male model on our own. So we first start with the head. So this is the bottom of the torso where the legs and the torso meet. Now, interestingly enough, with a female form, we usually have this hourglass shape going on right here, right? So as compared to the male model, where it was just like a trapezoid, for a female, the top of the shoulders and the bottom of the hips are about the same, but tend to make a bit of an hourglass shape. Now, how pronounced you want the hourglass is completely your prerogative. You can give her like a tiny slim waist. You can give her like a lot more of a wider waist. Doesn't really matter. Cool. Now we're going to draw the legs from the bottom of the torso all the way to where the feet are. Alright, cool beans. So now we're going to add a little bit of mass to these shoulders, just a little bit. Oh yeah, that's right. The point of where the knees are in the bottom of the torso is where the hands fall. So we're just going to do arms like that, and the other arm like that. See, it's already looking like a female model. Now, do you remember how we connect the shoulders to the head? So what we're going to do is, wait a minute. Notice how the top of the shoulders are right here, right? But if we were to omit this line and draw in another line that's directly halfway, we have the bottom of the neck. Pretty cool, huh? So let's work with this. So what we have is the base of the triangle. So basically what I'm doing is we have an hourglass shape, and then we have a triangle nesting on top. It's a lot wider than that. It's more like this and like this. And then pretend this is the head, and we're going to connect them like that. See? So we have the shoulders like that, sloping upward like that, because that's where the muscles are, and then we're going to bring the neck down. Now we're going to work on maybe some muscles. Usually in designing females, the muscles aren't as pronounced, so we can draw the muscles a little smaller. So we can make some triangles protruding outward for the forearms. The upper arms can stay the same. Then we could probably do the fists, small little hands. Very cool, very superhero-like. And then for the feet, we have a triangle shape. Define where the knees are. Thicken the calves a little bit. It's looking too much like the guy. It's like, nah, we don't want that. Just soften these shapes just a little bit. Just a little softer. Want it to look feminine. So guys tend to have a lot more angular shapes, while females tend to have softer shapes. And there we go. Now, this was a super simplistic tutorial on basic male and female anatomy. I certainly hope you had fun with this lesson, because I know I sure did. If you want Algorithm Senpai to hopefully notice me, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe. I'm gonna say that from now on.
Oh god.
And this concludes the Level 1 tutorial of Drawing Anatomy. Thank you so much for watching. I am the Board Enthusiast, and I hope to see you again real soon.